All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 5312, State of Texas versus Salim Harjit. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Ryan Grimmer for the state of Texas.
for the defense?
Christine McDonald for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Harjit?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Harjit, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with an unauthorized use of a vehicle? That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility, up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, sir.
Showing you the plea bargain page, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. There's to be restitution, if any, to Albert Cazares, Cazares. There's to be no contact with Albert Cazares, Gabriel Rivas, and Charlie Perkins. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, that Charlie Perkins is included with the no contact order, or is that being changed?
Judge, I'll leave that up to the court, Judge. I just don't know enough personally about it because the other prosecutor handled it. But I do see that he was just another person. He's a lay witness in our case who was in the car with Mr. Hargett.
Okay, well, we'll put that outside the agreement and then I can hear an argument. All right, other than that, did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, sir.
And next, I'm going to show you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 2 years. Also outside the agreement, the state is requesting a TAP evaluation and 120 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state, and court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offense is charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers state's exhibit number 1.
No objection.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, sir.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we're asking that you respectfully requesting you follow the plea bargain, judge, and there's just one matter I'd like to address to you as well.
Yes.
Regarding the restitution. We have not received an amount and we're just requesting a restitution hearing if that amount is egregious, judge.
All right, that, of course, that will be granted.
And of course, the contact with my client's uncle, Mr. Charlie Perkins, judge.
All right, so, Mr. Harjit. I'm assuming you picked up your uncle.
My uncle was staying with me at the time.
Mhm.
So when I went to go make the store run, he went with me to the store.
All right, so nobody questioned why, like, how old is your uncle?
In his early 60s, late 50s. I'm not.
Okay, so I don't understand why, and I'm just being a reasonable person. If my niece or nephew drove up in a car, was staying with me and I was taking them somewhere, the first thing they would say would be, Stephanie, why are all these bullet holes in this vehicle? Like, would somebody say that? Because this is saying that the car had bullet holes in it. So I would think, as a reasonable person, if my niece or nephew were to get in a car with me, they would be like, Aunt Stephanie, why are there bullet holes in it? Or to switch that up, if my niece or nephew were driving and I'm living with them, which I shouldn't because I'm a grown woman, I should be living by myself, paying my own bills and not depending on my niece or nephew for housing. But let's just say I'm being foolish
Yes, ma'am.
and I have to stay with them. When they were taking me somewhere, I would say, hey, why are there bullet holes in this car?
I do understand what you're saying. We live in a side of town where, I mean, there's bullet holes in cars that weren't even involved in the shootings per se. So, I mean,
That's still a question that needs to be asked, and I don't understand why anybody would not ask it. So why is your uncle living with you? Why can't he have a place on his own?
I'm assuming he does now. I haven't been in touch with him since I've been here.
All right. So if you want to have contact with him for some reason, your uncle is gonna have to come in and I need to talk to him face to face to find out what's going on. Because how old are you?
23.
Yeah, I don't understand why your uncle who's in his fifties is living with you, why he doesn't have his own place. Now, I can understand if you're living with your uncle, but your uncle is living with you. That doesn't make sense to me.
He's on disability. Yes.
How long you been in custody?
After this week, since April 14th.
Yeah. He's not living with you now. That's $1,000 fine. It'll be probated, 2 years deferred adjudication. There's restitution, if any, to Albert Caceres. There's to be no contact with Albert Caceres, Gabriel Rivas, 120 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination with booster. Court is not requiring you to get that, but if you have it, the court will deduct 40 hours. Do you have any children?
No.
That's a good thing. Are you employed?
Not right now, but I do have a job waiting for me when I get out. Yes.
Doing what?
Construction.
All right, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider with minors. Did you graduate high school?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you planning on doing with the rest of your life?
I plan on going to college and getting a big bachelor's in psychology.
All right, we'll waive the remaining 120, I'm sorry. Waive the remaining community service restitution hours if he is enrolled in college. And for this court, enrollment in college means you have to take at least 8 hours per semester.
Yes, ma'am.
There should be regular UAs, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, field visits, random, one time per month for 4 months. If there's no problem, then that can be removed. And Charlie Perkins, you can have contact with Charlie Perkins, but he's not allowed to reside with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. Court is calling 2022 CR 5312, State of Texas versus Celine Harriet. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Oscar Salinas.
Defense?
Daniel Rodriguez for Mr. Hargis.
And are you Mr. Harriet?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Celine Nader Hargett who was placed under deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 5312 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on July 28, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violated condition number 4 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Salim Nakir Hargit did then and there fail to report as directed by the court supervision officer for the months of August 2022, September 2022, and October 2022, and or duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
State waives and abandons remain
Any
allegations.
objections to the state's waivers?
None.
Mr. Hargett, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, sir, there is an agreement. we'd ask the court to enter an adjudication of guilt, revoke his deferred adjudication, and sentence him to 180 days in state jail.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, it is.
And Mr. Harjet, are you asking the court to follow that agreement? Are you waiving your right to appeal? All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. How old are you?
23.
All right, why were you not reporting?
Honest truth, the first month, August.
Okay, people, let me tell you something. When people start a sentence with, in all honesty, usually what follows is not honesty. And when they say with all due respect, usually what follows is not respect. So,
The month of August, I was actually still in jail.
okay,
Not here, but in B County. I was moved from San Antonio to B County. So
Okay.
August, I was in jail. The beginning of September, as soon as I got out, my dad passed away. And I was doing paperwork, having meetings and stuff like that for the money and stuff after he passed away, the life insurance policy. Honestly, I just was busy. It's still, there's no real excuse for not showing up.
all right. So I'm gonna give you a choice. Sometimes I can give people choices, sometimes I can't give choices. The state and your council have come to an agreement to give you the minimum sentence for this, which is 180 days in the state jail facility. We can do that, otherwise I can continue you. And what I will do is, for your punishments, you are gonna have weekly reporting for a period of time. Or I can revoke you, you can do your 180 days. You have a felony conviction on your record. That probably will affect what you're planning on doing with the rest of your life. But this offense may impact it anyway.
Okay, if I were to agree to going back on probation with that, still, but I still go ISF or no?
That was the recommendation of probation judge.
I don't know.
If the answer is no, then I will accept.
No, here's the thing. I always tell people, if we could write our own program, guess what? I wouldn't have a job. Your attorney wouldn't have a job. The state wouldn't have a job because everybody would be living in a utopia. But we can't write our own program because some of us can't write a program and stick to it. You know, I'm trying to stick to my diet program. It's a new year. I haven't eaten any sweets this year so far.
When?
Yeah. So it's up to you. If you want the 180 days, then I will follow your agreement to give you 180 days, but we're not bargaining on, will you put me in ISF? Will you not put me in ISF?
The only reason that I mentioned ISF is because I still have several things to do for my dad's funeral. So the amount of time that I may have to wait to go to ISF is basically not ISF themselves.
Probation, what's wait time for ISF?
Are we talking state or local?
We're just doing cognitive. I'm assuming that's what the request is.
I was told 2 to 3 weeks earlier.
That is correct.
So what is the purpose for, why is probation requesting ISF?
Your Honor, I believe it's the justification is he does not appear to have consideration for the property of others and would benefit from the cognitive restructuring provided by the local ISF.
Oh, you said that he doesn't respect other people's property?
Based on the offense, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Some people didn't get this in preschool and kindergarten and first grade. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. If you go to somebody's house, invite it, and they ask you to leave, leave. Don't accept an invitation through third parties unless you're the person that you're going with is you're married to you, or they give them the permission to bring a +1. Do you understand that? So do you want the 180 days in the state jail facility, or do you want to be continuous? And whether or not I send you to cognitive or not, we'll see what happens.
I'd like to continue.
All right, so I'm going to deny the motion. Alternate man conditions to weekly reporting for 3 months. And that will be by Zoom or in person. We're going to continue with the field visits until further notice. And all of the conditions remain. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing.
All right, we're off the record. You had better realize that you could be going to the state jail facility. I know people think, it's just a state jail facility. Guess what? It's still a prison.
Yes, ma'am, I completely understand. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Calling 2022 CR 5312, State of Texas versus Celine Hargett. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
Defense.
David McLean for the defense.
And are you Mr. Hargett?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. McLean was appointed to represent you today. Is that correct, sir?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And have you talked to your client about his due process rights?
I have,
As
Your
far
Honor.
as time frame for him to, before he's required to answer for these allegations in this motion?
We have, Your Honor, we've discussed our recent appointment, how he has, time for me to be able to prepare, time for him to be able to consider what the state's offering. And we've been able to confer with Mr. Edelman, and I believe we have an agreement.
All right, Mr. Hargett, did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Celine Nadir Hargett who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 5312 for the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle on July 28, 2022 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In Bear County, Texas, the defendant Salim Nadir Hargett did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of October, November, and December 2023 in violation of condition number 4. State waives the remaining violation allegations.
All right, any objection to the waivers?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4?
I don't think you asked him how he played.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's been long.
It's been a long day.
Mr. Hargett, violation of condition number 4.
True.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4? The court would find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility
Yes,
and up
ma'am.
to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Adjudicate guilt, revoke supervision, assess punishment at confinement of 251 days with credit for time served.
That's our understanding, Your Honor. I believe my client has 251 actual days at the time that we're taking this plea.
All right, is that 251 days in the state jail facility?
That is 251 days in Bear County.
All right, so are you all requesting that he be sentenced under 1244?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand that the court would have followed this plea bargaining agreement, it would still be a felony conviction?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will grant the motion, find you guilty, revoke, sentence you to 251 days in the Bear County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. And the court will show that your judgment is satisfied. All right, when you go off the record, good luck to you. You better start making better decisions. You understand? All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge.